What's going on YouTube? It's your boy BGC aka Bands Go Crazy, and I'm back with another reaction, man. Hey, as you can see what I got for y'all today, man. This is a new video uploaded by the one and only Dr. Insanity, man. This is Lonely Husband Kills Wife and records everything, man. This is gonna be a crazy one, man. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're new on the road to 1,000 subscribers, man. You already know the deal. And if y'all already got anything you recommended that you want me to react to, you already know, hit that comments up, man. Hey, let's get right to this video.
I don't care what you did. I'm sorry about what I did. Just please come home. Please. Just please.
This is Joseph Paul DeWise, and his deteriorating relationship with his wife, Lauren, is slowly ruining his life.
I'm driving and I'm crying. I don't want to go without you. I'm sorry. I will do better. I promise.
Over the years, Lauren had lost her feelings for Paul, but Paul's love for her had only grown stronger. And to cope with slowly losing the love of his life, Paul turned to drinking, sending his mental state into a downward spiral. His love for Lauren would turn into hatred.
And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I'm just an innocent victim now. Why don't you attack me in front of the camera? Why don't you talk to me like you did a minute ago?
And that's what this is about.
This shit, be careful who you get with, man. I know it's like, it's hard to really be like, oh yeah, let me not talk to strangers because any one of them could be a killer, you know. But at the same time, it's like, you know what I'm saying, sometimes it's good to judge a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's good to really go with your instincts and your gut feeling. You know what I'm saying? Really look into your intuition, all that.
I'm angry, and it's hard for me to live with.
Paul could only bear the pain for so long. His complex emotions turned into obsession, leading him to stalk Lauren, where he soon discovered she was going on dates with other men. Eventually, enough was enough.
Good night, Lauren. I hope you sleep well.
On the night of January 7th, 2018, Lauren DeWise would be found dead in her bedroom. It was confirmed that Paul was responsible.
I live at 1308. It's the next door neighbor. She just came over in barracks and says somebody shot her roommate.
What makes this case specifically so interesting is that Paul recorded his entire mental downfall, from the start of his issues with Lauren all the way to the tragic end. For the past 6 months, I've worked with a handful of police stations, district attorneys, and news networks to gather the entire recorded life of Joseph Paul DeWise.
Well, he said he worked with them for 6 months. But I don't know how, yo, that's either way. If it took him 6 months to really gather, it has to be at least a month worth of recording. You feel me? At least. Maybe it might be longer. Jesus, this is crazy.
Guys, this is his full story.
A 165 days before the murder. How many? I don't even know how many months that is. That's like 12. It's like 5.5 months, maybe. Damn. I guess it might be the.
This was a letter to Lauren, written by Paul.
For real. Damn.
On July 24th, 2017. It indicates the first real sign of Paul and Lauren's relationship problems, but also Paul's dark tendency of self-hatred.
I have no excuse for what happened last night. I am a very bad person for you right now. I hate myself. I do not deserve you. I have no reason to be loved by you or the kids. I ruined everything. You deserve someone way better than me.
Paul wrote this letter just hours after a heated argument with Lauren, where he lost his temper and screamed at her, all in front of their 3 children.
Excuse me, that's one thing I'm not trying to do is argue in front of my kids, man.
This was likely one of many arguments that took place in the home, because after this incident, Lauren would leave their home, stating, "I'll only return for the kids." Looking at the letter, it's clear that Paul felt immense guilt for screaming in front of his children, perhaps even more than most would. And there's a very good reason for that. In his journal, Paul would often write about growing up in an abusive household. In one entry, he
See what I'm
described walking in
saying?
on
It's
his
like
father screaming and
shit like
choking
that
his
grows up with the kid, and the kid ended up realizing, you know what I'm saying? That shit is like, I don't know, they so used to seeing that as that's what they gonna portray as. You feel me? They gonna just repeat the same thing.
his mother, her face turning purple from the strangulation. Perhaps Paul felt he had followed in his father's footsteps by becoming aggressive towards Lauren in front of their children, something that likely embarrassed him. But instead of apologizing for his outburst, he chose a different path. He would begin manipulating his children, convincing them that he had done nothing wrong, even going as far as recording these statements to show Lauren later on.
How do you feel about what happened with Lauren?
I'm angry and sick.
Not even just, he didn't even say how you feel about your mom. Nigga said how you feel about Lauren. I would not tell my kid, yeah, how you feel about blah blah blah, you know, whoever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's weird as shit.
Sad. And I don't know.
I'm upset. I'm mad. I don't understand. It's overwhelming.
The only damage that I feel that has been done by is honestly Lauren. I mean, everything was fine until she decided that she wanted to do what she did.
Was it my fault?
Are these his kids or are these their kids? Because now because she said Lauren. So there's no way in hell my kid is calling me by my first name, nigga. Got me fucked up. I won't even call my mother by my first name, and I'm a grown ass man. You feel me? It don't matter. That's something that would never happen. So she has to be the stepmother he married to her, I'm guessing. Nah, yeah, he is. You know that.
No. Are you glad it's just gonna be me, you, Joe, and no? Why?
So do they? Okay, so I'm kind of confused now. Look, so do they have all 3 kids, or is it just like this the only kid that they got? Maybe. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm trying to figure this out.
Yeah.
Lauren had moved out of the house, and Paul's attempts at manipulation only pushed her further away. In turn, his abandonment issues worsened, spiraling into paranoia over the thought of Lauren falling in love with someone else. There are numerous examples of Paul's paranoia, but certain examples are particularly notable. One thing Paul would consistently do over these years was send relentless barrages of text messages. They would usually start out in a calm, collected way.
I respected you, and so did the community. Now you are someone else. You aren't building love in the family anymore. Mostly insecurity, and frustration, and sadness.
But would quickly spiral into unintelligible rants of self-hatred and
like,
aggressive accusation.
Let me skip this thing. Hit that like button. And it's like, bro, shit like this you can't do. You can't keep going. There's only so long for a female going steady. You can't keep doing shit like this, man. This shit's not good, bro. You gotta sit back and really think about yourself, man. That's terrible. Like, that's terrible. Like, nigga, saying shit like that. I'm surprised she ain't just up and leave after you said that. You know what I'm saying? You're lucky she ain't up and leave after you said that. Let's be real. Let's start there.
Now I am depressed again. How can you not care? How can you make me deal with this by myself?
Why won't you save us?
I'm sick again, and my counselor had to cancel.
I am a pathetic piece of crap now. I am completely alone.
My life.
That's probably how she'd be staying, bruh. That nigga just, he snaps on her every single day. And then after he snaps on her and she leaves the house or whatever it may be, he goes to either this or just apologize and writing notes and all types of stuff saying he hate himself and all types of stuff, and then she probably ends up feeling bad. And then she comes back and the cycle keep repeating until she's like, you know what, I can't feel bad for this nigga no more. The love is gone. She don't feel bad for you no more. It just, she's ready to move on. That's it.
My money is gone. My body is broken. My wife doesn't care about me except to hurt me.
You are abusive.
You.
I'm crazy now. Great job.
Always ending with some type of accusatory comment, likely to make Lauren feel guilt over not being there for him. Another thing he would regularly do was contact people in Lauren's life. One notable example would be towards Lauren's female co-worker, who Paul suspected to be bisexual.
I would appreciate it if you would stay away from my wife. You are not a good influence for her, and she is acting like a single woman. I don't not trust you as I reached out to you, and you ignored me. My wife needs family-oriented friends, not friends that married people and aren't friends enough to help in crisis.
Paul's messages to Lauren and her friends
on one
continued
end,
for months.
That's really not, you know what I'm saying? That's not how you go about things, for sure. You know what I'm saying? There's way better ways to approach stuff. But if the friend is bad for her, you know what I'm saying? If the friend was bad and she really just like, you know what I'm saying? She like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? You should sneak around, you know what I'm saying? Or she telling her bad shit. Now I can see why he can get mad. But other than that, like seeing why he get mad, but like, not even mad though. Like, there's no reason why you should be mad. Because if she don't want to change her friends and it's fucking up your relationship, then that's when you move on. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? You can't get mad at that situation. Either she gonna boss up and realize, okay, yeah, she's acting like a hoe or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? She's in a relationship, or you leave both of them alone. Simple as that. But all that's OD. It's too much. You're causing yourself stress for no reason, bro.
Emotional over time, while Lauren
Rest in
would
peace to
rarely
Lauren too, man. I'm
respond.
not trying to justify
Reading
nothing
his diaries,
that he did, but you know what I'm saying? Realistically, like, bro, like, come on now. There's so many more better options that you could have took than this. Like,
it's clear this deeply upset Paul. He felt like he was losing the woman he loved. Desperate for a reaction, he soon turned to sending her videos instead, hoping that would finally grab her attention.
I don't care what you did. I'm sorry about what I did.
What are you thinking?
you send threats. You said hate. You send I don't even know. It can't really say that kind of threats, but you say hate. You send manipulative texts, and then you send, I'm sorry, yourself crying. You never do it again. Come back. I miss you. Words only gonna take you so far.
Oh, I don't want to restrict this by myself.
Words don't justify your actions. It's over.
And I love you. Please, just fucking please. Please. I work 2 jobs. I'll do anything. I won't be here. I'll be working all the time. Just come home. Please. Please come home. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was so angry. I have a new perspective now.
Paul's emotional swings indicate a deep fear of abandonment, likely stemming from his childhood. With Lauren, he was angry and controlling. Without her, he was desperate and self-pitying. When she responded, it would briefly ease his distress, but unfortunately for Paul, Lauren would stop responding altogether. On November 14th, Paul's worst fears of abandonment would come true. He would discover clues that Lauren had started going out again. And later that same week, he signed up for VSync GPS tracking services and registered her phone to the system. Paul would start stalking her. He would take pictures of Lauren and the various bars she would go to and store them away to confront her with later. But on November 14th, things took a dark turn when, while stalking her, Paul discovered Lauren in her car with a co-worker named Kevin making out. It seemed to confirm his deep fear of being abandoned as he stood there watching it all unfold. Kevin would eventually leave the vehicle, allowing Paul to rush in and let Lauren know he saw everything that just happened. He'd pull out his phone to record, but would only capture a few seconds.
It was an accident, I'm sorry.
Paul would go on to take Lauren's phone, texting Kevin an array of angry messages. However, eventually, Lauren would escape the situation.
Wait, so she sent those? I'm trying to. Oh, that was it. You took advantage of me because I was drunk. I just puked my guts out into the sink. After begging my husband forgiveness, I have never cheated on him before, but I felt guilty for wanting to make him jealous and threatening him.
However, eventually, his phone, texting Kevin an array of...
Paul
would go on to take Lauren's phone.
Oh, I was like, why did she text all of this? I'm like, what? Wow.
Texting Kevin an array of angry messages. However, eventually, Lauren would escape the situation. Approximately 22 hours after this had taken place, Paul would find Lauren with a different man, Brian. The two were simply co-workers, but Paul wasn't going to take any chances. So again, he would go up to the car, this time confronting the man instead of Lauren. This man had absolutely no intimate relationship with Lauren, so he retaliated against these claims, even punching Paul in the face.
I pulled away from my house. Well, here she is. There's nothing.
This shit is crazy, y'all. This shit is crazy. And then having the fucking the videos to oh my goodness, this is crazy, bro. It makes it a whole lot worse.
It's another good-looking man.
Paul was furious. However, instead of begging Lauren to get back together, he would ask her to grab her final belongings from the house and never come back. This was a sharp distinction from the previous weeks and even months. It seemed like Paul's ongoing desperation for Lauren had bizarrely turned into hatred. Lauren would oblige and go on to take her items from the house, but Paul wouldn't stop there. The next morning, he would take to Facebook, making a
I'm the crazy one because I agreed to stay home and take care of BGC, the bank manager at Rocky Mountain Bank. He's a leader in Bozeman and on the board of directors at Children's Amusement. Last night I called Lauren making out with this man in her car outside the bar. This man attacked me with being and I was pretty beat up. This evening I called her with a different man and his truck in a different parking lot. When she said she was, leadership Bozeman sponsorship by Rocky Mountain Bank. I asked her to move out. She came and got her belongings and left and turned off her location sharing. She didn't shed a tear. Now I am single. And now I am a single stay-at-home dad with 3 amazing kids that need a full-time job in daycare. I am also angry and sad. Lauren was everything to me, the kids, even though she stopped paying attention to them or spending time with them, with any of us. Excuse me. She is the best liar I've ever known. She can lie. Look at me straight in the eye. Look at me straight in the eye. I guess it meant in the eye. Straight in the eye. So, well, I can know it's not true and start believing it. We need a church family.
Public post stating,
Has anyone in Bozeman not kissed my wife?
That's
Last
so
night
crazy.
I caught Lauren making out with this man in her car outside of a bar. She is the best liar I have ever known.
Paul had turned to retaliation, and his video recordings made that clear.
Yes, I've been drinking. I'm having beer. But I'm not wasted. I'm very upset. I put up with this shit for years. I didn't realize it because I was blind. And that's what this is about. And I'm angry. And my children are angry. And my baby's angry. And it's hard for me to live with. It's very difficult. It's all about shutting you down. But in Bozeman, there's all these young 30-somethings with tons of money that Lauren's chasing. She loves that. And she's gonna step up from me and our family and get ahead. I'm angry. I don't want her to keep her job. I would like to protect the community from her. I'm sure I will be an outcast now because, you know, who tells the truth anymore, right?
Paul continued to bombard Lauren with texts, stalk her, and most of all, fuel his chronic alcoholism, which only worsened his anger issues. At one point, even telling Lauren's friend at a local bar, quote, "I've killed people before, and I'm not afraid to do it again."
Whoa.
The final straw in Paul's downward
He's bugging.
spiral came in an incident completely unrelated to Lauren. While out walking with his daughter, Paul would begin threatening a homeowner whose dogs were barking at him from behind a fence. When the man confronted him, an enraged Paul pulled out a pocket knife and stabbed him in the hip, and Paul would record the entire event.
We just got attacked by these people's dogs. This is my baby. Baby, did you think that dog was gonna get you? I did too. And then this man attacked me behind the dog after this woman. Baby, I'm sorry.
This nigga manipulated his children. Oh my goodness, this nigga
has
is
a
so
level,
terrible.
and you get free daily cases for it.
This is terrible.
I withdrew my knife to defend myself against this man who took me down with a single leg takedown. As a last resort, when my back was on the floor, I struck up with the knife. I struck the man. They pulled the dog away. Now the dog's gone. You okay, baby? I'm so sorry.
You stood here and antagonized.
And see, still the aggression.
You stood here
with my baby.
antagonizing the dogs. Look at what you're doing to
I'm blocking my baby from this woman.
Look what you're doing to
This is the aggression these people have. They threatened us when we tried to walk by. Let's get out of here.
Are you some kind of a doper? Are you crazy or what?
The cops are coming for you.
Like they,
Wow.
like
You guys are gonna be out of here.
if you tell by the tone of them, they're not even. They don't. Be real. We know when certain people. It don't even matter the color. I ain't gonna lie. People be putting it on color. They be saying white people. No, it be black folks. It be Mexican folks. It be Hispanic. It don't matter the color. We know when certain folks be on that type of timing. You know what I'm saying? They be racist or, you know, whatever the case may be, biased or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Just don't like you for whoever you is. When these motherfuckers do not, they talking to you calm as hell, and you sitting here like, bro, it's just so weird. Like this situation is just so.
Out of here.
Like, look at how he's talking. Just get out of here, dude.
For what you are.
You better chill the fuck out.
That's right, I should.
You kicked me and I put you on the ground.
That's right.
So that you can figure out what's going
It's okay,
on.
baby. That's right. Don't run away.
Don't threaten me and fucking come in my yard and fucking cut me. Drop the knife!
I dropped it.
Get on the ground! Now! Do not move!
It's okay,
Hand
baby.
behind your back!
It's okay.
Hand behind your back! Do not move!
It's okay, baby.
Luckily for Paul, the homeowner had technically put his hands on him first, so the stabbing was considered self-defense. And while he would walk away with no charges, this event would signify that Paul was not afraid of violence, and in fact seemed to endorse it.
But like, the dog is on the other side of the fence. But I mean, I guess, like, bro. But like, bro, don't come and tag. Like, he on his yard and all that shit, bro. Like, how the fuck did he get away with no charges?
On January 6th, 2018, at 11:56 a.m., Paul would text Lauren, inviting her over for some soup. Lauren would never reply. At 3:36 p.m., Paul would text Lauren, asking if they were still meeting for tomorrow. Lauren would reply, "What for? I'd like to pick up my daughter and spend time with her." This seemed to upset Paul, so he would go on his, by this point, usual rant to Lauren, sending messages such as, "I beg you, please don't destroy us, I love you, and will do whatever it takes." Hours later, at 10:58 p.m., Lauren would reply, "No thank you." A 2-hour gap would proceed with no text messages between the two. However, Paul was completing other tasks during this time. First, Paul can be seen on CCTV at the town pump gas station at 12:34 a.m. Additionally, Paul would take a photo from his phone minutes after. While blurry, this photo shows Lauren's current home in the distance, as well as a GPS tracking device inside the vehicle. Following this photo, Paul would send a final text message saying, "I know I'm not supposed to text you now, but I can't sleep. Please, please, please come home. I miss you and love you so much. Please, I love you. We all do. Please just come home. Please."
I was talking to my friends about headphones,
that like button,
and then
man.
5 minutes later, I got 10 ads in a row for headphones. That's why...
911, what's the address of your emergency?
Idaho Street, Belgrade. The next door neighbor, she just came over in barracks and said somebody shot her roommate.
Did this just happen?
Yeah, she said it just happened. She needs ambulance and police.
Okay, where is the person that shot the neighbor?
Who shot? Who shot? The guy's name was Paul DeWise.
So Paul DeWise is the one that shot the person?
That's what she said, yeah. She said her roommate Ashley is the one that's still alive.
Do we know where Paul is now?
She doesn't know if he's still in the house. That's why she ran.
Okay. All right. Is Ashley bleeding seriously?
Was she bleeding seriously? Yes. She said yes.
Okay.
Lauren and her roommate, Ashley, were shot on the morning of January 6th. Their neighbors would hear the gunshot and...
Nah.
rush to the home, finding what they saw as a deceased Lauren and a severely wounded Ashley. Additionally, the neighbors would name Paul DeWise as the shooter. Officers would waste no time and rush to the scene immediately.
Where are we at? What's going on?
I stayed with friends last night, and I just came in and I saw that my back door had been broken in, so I went to the back and I could see footsteps in the snow, so I ran up to my room to see if my roommate was okay. I have 2 roommates.
Okay.
One of them's dead, and the other one is in her room, and she's still alive, and she needs help, but I ran because I didn't know if he was still in the house.
Okay, so you don't know if there's somebody else in the house?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
Okay.
Lauren looks like she's been a while, but Ashley's asked me for help, and I ran.
Okay. Is this door open?
Yes.
Okay, so we have 2 people upstairs. Is that what you're telling me? Okay. But we don't know if there's anybody else in the house. Is that correct? Okay.
Help Ashley.
Okay. One apparent dead, one still alive. She said I ran out as soon as I saw that.
Damn, that motherfucker pulled that shit out. That, yeah. That up close counter, you get hit with that motherfucker, that's a killer. That ain't finna damage you unless he hit your toes or something, you heard me? He hit you in the motherfucking chest with that shit, kadoosh. Hole in that motherfucker, you heard me? Yeah. He got the right weapon for this shit. He not playing no games with his life.
Okay. Footprints in the snow leading up here.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep. Belgrade Police!
Police Department!
Anybody inside, come out!
I'm going this way.
Okay, I got stairwell.
Police!
Sergeant 326. Where are you at?
Kitchen clear.
How many people are inside? We're making entry. How many people?
Right.
Okay.
Stairs. We're coming.
Belgrade Police, show me your hands. We got doors on the left and right.
I'm in here.
Police!
Please don't shoot me!
Who shot you?
No, please don't shoot me!
Oh
I'm
my
not gonna shoot you.
goodness.
Please don't shoot me!
She can't even see. She probably not even gonna be able to see guns for her. Or be like, imagine movies with gunshot sounds in them and shit like that. Oh, that's so fucked up, bro. That shit give me real life shit.
I'm behind you.
Okay,
You see
we need
that?
medical in here now.
Please don't shoot me!
And we're not gonna shoot you, ma'am.
My name's Ashley!
Ashley, what's going on? Who shot you?
Nobody!
Oh, what happened?
I don't know! Please come
Bro,
here!
she don't even know what happened. She don't even think nobody shot her, but she just saying, please don't shoot her. Like, bro, this is so, like, this nigga, like, what, like, why do people, like, what is, like, why can't you just leave the motherfuckers alone, bro? Like, why do you stoop this low?
Who did?
Are you the police?
I'm the police, right here.
Where are you?
I'm right here. Can you see me?
Where are you?
I'm right here.
Where?
Ashley was temporarily blind, with a bullet wound to the back of her head and several others across her body. She had no idea where she was and wasn't even aware she had been shot.
Are you the police?
I'm the police, yes.
Show me your face then.
I'm right here. Can you see me?
No.
Can you see anything?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Where are you?
I'm right here. Can you feel my hand?
Shoot me.
What?
Please don't shoot me.
I'm not gonna shoot you. Where do you hurt?
I don't hurt anywhere.
You don't hurt anywhere?
No. Are you going to hurt me?
No, I don't want to hurt you.
Okay, please help me.
We're gonna help you, Ashley.
Ashley was not in a communicative state at this point, making this about as difficult a situation as you can get as a police officer. Regardless, this officer would do a heroic job of remaining calm as he continued to talk to Ashley and ensure she stayed awake. Fortunately, medical staff arrived quickly and Ashley would be rushed to the hospital. Whether or not she would survive remained to be seen, but the officer can rest assured knowing that he did everything possible to keep her alive. The other victim, Lauren, would be pronounced dead on the scene. While this is devastating, another problem still had to be solved, and solved fast, as the shooter had not yet been located.
Got the garage cleared? Yep, he cleared the garage. We got tracks everywhere. Can you move that?
That's why I thank
Bed frame?
God every day, bro. You gotta thank God every day, bro. Because imagine going from being able to see and now you blind. And now you blind. Bro. That's heavy, bro. She didn't even know what happened. She didn't even know she was shot, but she just said, please don't shoot me. It's like she, oh my gosh, in the back of the head. And she survived.
Or the mattress? Clear. Got a man door. Can we go out that? Yeah. Okay. Clear. We're clear? Is there tracks going over the top of the fence or anything? No. Negative. How about this way? There's tracks going around that way. Okay, is our gate open?
The house was clear, meaning whoever killed Lauren had fled immediately. And while he may have gotten away, several clues would be left behind. The most obvious being a trail of bloody footprints leading from the east side of the house over to the back door. At the time, this was a small, irrelevant detail. However, this would become one of the leading pieces of evidence to solve the case later on. By nothing short of a miracle, Ashley would survive the brutal attack. She would undergo multiple emergency surgeries, fracture treatments, and blood transfusions. This was a blessing for not only Ashley and her family, but for the detectives working on the case. Because if Ashley could recall what had happened and who shot her, solving this case would become a whole lot easier. But before we dive deeper into the case, let me tell you about today's sponsor, ShipStation. After using and you matter with ShipStation.com, code insanity. Now let's get back to the video. So, after Ashley had briefly recovered from her surgeries, detectives would sit down for a formal interview. The goal of the interview was to help her recall crucial details about the incident by asking specific, targeted questions, in hopes of triggering memories that might have been buried due to the trauma.
So obviously, you know we're here to talk to you.
Yes, I do.
And I know this is kind of a tough question, but can you tell me, do you remember anything at all?
When I got shot?
Mm-hmm.
No. No, I do not remember being shot at all.
Well, yeah, you're a lucky gal, but everything that I've heard, you're a fighter.
It's a miracle I'm alive. I thank God every day.
It's really a miracle.
It is.
The detective would continue asking questions for another 30 minutes, but unfortunately, Ashley was unable to answer anything whatsoever. Again, officers were left confused as to who this killer was and why this happened in the first place. Due to the lack of physical evidence, detectives decided to talk to more witnesses in order to determine a primary suspect. Audria, the neighbor who called for help, had reported Paul as the potential killer during the 911 call. So with this in mind, officers decided it was imperative to speak with Audria to better understand why she would make these claims. And she would waste no time letting officers in on Lauren's abusive relationship with Paul.
We went golfing once this summer.
Okay.
Well, she actually had worked out at my gym. I'm a personal trainer at Big Sky Barbell, and she had come in one day and I saw a bruise on her, and I remember saying, "Dude, what happened to your leg?" And she said, I just ran into something. And I said, 100-mile-an-hour softball? What happened to your leg? She just dismissed it. A couple months later, we were golfing, and she said, they had lived here about a year, and she said, I can't believe I've never told anybody this, but I think I need to leave Paul. He beats me all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to contact me every day. And one day would be, you ruined my life, to, I can't believe you're helping my wife, to, I'm so sorry, this is all my fault. It has nothing to do with you. You did nothing wrong. I mean, he's got a schizophrenic chain of messages that I never responded to. Anyway, yesterday, it's actually been fairly close. She went over to his house for their daughters. They have a 3-year-old daughter. She turned 4 on Thursday.
Audria was well aware Paul was an abusive and psychotic husband prior to Lauren's death. Based on Audria's claims, her suspicion of Paul's involvement would only grow stronger.
I left last night around 9. She had just gotten out of the bath, and she had actually said something to me like, I'm just so happy here. I feel safer than I felt in years. And I remember leaving. I left around 9:30. And I got home this morning. I got home early. And when I walked in, I looked down, and in my back door frame, 2 pieces of wood were laying on the floor. And I ran upstairs to see if Lauren was okay. She was not okay. I literally the door had been propped open, and she always slept with it. And it was open, and I walked up, and I could see her laying there, so I didn't even walk it all the way in her. I just looked at her and was... It looked to me like Lauren was dead when I was there, but I didn't even... My brain went to gunshots because he has like a bicyclist pulled him over, like, cut him off, and like got close to him in traffic once. He pulled a pistol on bicycles. He pulled a pistol on Lauren. Of course, he got banned from Airbnb. He pulled a pistol. Airbnb guest.
Yeah.
Based on Ashley's claims, Paul was not only an abuser, but also notoriously threatened people with the same weapon used to kill Lauren. It was becoming more and more clear that Paul was who detectives ultimately needed to speak with.
Kung Fu, the best example would be a glass of water.
Safely getting Paul to the police station for questioning was something that needed to be done with extreme precaution. Whoever killed Lauren was armed with a .22 caliber pistol, and if Paul was responsible, a dangerous scenario could occur if police contacted him directly. So, in order to safely secure him, officers devised a complex plan for his arrest. Paul's house would be heavily surveyed the day of the arrest. The moment Paul left his house, the surveillance team would notify the arrest team of his direction of travel. In order to leave his neighborhood, Paul would have to exit either to the west on South 19th Avenue or east on South 3rd Avenue. Units would be blocking both streets, and a high-risk felony stop would be used to take
There's no way to get out this way or something?
into custody. With this plan, officers were granted an arrest warrant for Paul, and immediately the operation would go underway. At 9 a.m. the next day, Paul would exit his house in his Chevrolet Suburban. He'd turn west onto South 19th Avenue, where an officer would be waiting for him, and quickly pull the vehicle over.
Okay, open up the door. Keep both hands up. Okay, go ahead and get out. Hey, get out. Hands up.
Hands up. Walk over here. Turn around. Look away from me. Walk backwards. Keep coming. Keep coming. Stop. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Do not move. Do you understand me? Take him to the back of my car. All right.
The plan had worked perfectly, and Paul was quickly brought to the Bozeman police station for his first formal interrogation. At this point, Paul knows exactly why he's here. His wife had been found murdered. He also knows that, logically, an innocent man wouldn't have that kind of information in the first place. What makes this interrogation particularly interesting is that, despite knowing this, Paul subconsciously steers the conversation towards his wife.
Hi, Paul. Yep. My name's Justin. I'm with the Belgrade Police Department.
Okay.
So you had your...
Remember, at this point, there has been no mention of Lauren whatsoever.
What do you do for work?
I've been staying-home dad for quite a while.
Man, it's the hardest job there is.
Had a couple of accidents, and we ended up switching roles and ended up staying home.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going through transition right now, though, so...
Is that right?
Yeah. So...
What kind of transition?
We're separated.
Oh.
Yeah. And in fact, she was supposed to get a baby today.
Oh.
So it's been tough. I hurt my knee back in June, and we had a lot of problems since then, and I had surgery in August, and it caused a lot of problems.
The detectives still haven't mentioned Lauren.
I've had a bunch of injuries in the last few years, and she's pissed off at me about that.
Was it work-related?
No.
What did you do before you stayed at home?
Well, I was a school teacher for 15 years. I taught science before I moved to Montana.
Here?
No, in Pensacola, Florida.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I have a biology degree. Yeah, that's how my wife and I met.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we both taught next door to each other. Huh. Yeah. She liked my coffee.
Once again, Paul brings up his wife unprompted. While this is interesting, it's not enough to serve as evidence, so the detectives decide it's time to apply more pressure.
So, the reason that I wanted to talk to you is there were some issues that happened over at Lauren's house this morning, and I just kind of wanted to touch base with you to see if you were over there at all, if kind of where you were this morning, that kind of thing.
What happened?
Well, someone broke into the back door of her place, and so from what I understand, you guys were separated and working on a divorce, and that's kind of where we're at.
Sure, right?
Well, not
Nigga trying to
really.
play that game.
She isn't.
He trying to play that game. He trying to play that game. Wow, he's trying to play that game.
Well, the person that came in ended up shooting her. So
she's dead?
Yeah. So
oh my god.
So that's why we're
Really, nigga? Alright, let's be for real.
talking to you because you guys are going through a divorce, and from what I understand, and that's, we need to kind of figure out what's going on.
This is news to me. I don't know anything about it.
Well, let me just say right off the bat, regardless of your relational issues, I understand.
I love her.
Lauren's very important to you.
I love her.
And I'm so sorry that you're going through this right now. This place. If, let's say, for...
You think I did it. I didn't do it.
We gotta look at the big picture.
I didn't say you did it.
Never do anything.
I'm asking you to give us any information that you can about anything, whether it was you or not.
It's hard to tell whether Paul is genuinely anxious over his wife's
Nah,
passing,
for real.
or if he's simply putting on a convincing act, panicking, not over grief, but over the realization that the detectives are closing in on him. Notably, Paul would quickly regain his composure and instead redirects the conversation towards Lauren, quickly painting himself as a victim of her actions.
Hands are tingling. And I've been having panic problems. I never had it before. Never. I didn't know what a real panic attack was like.
Just since you got here?
No, since we started going through this crap. Now it started in like July. She's going through like a midlife crisis, and you know, she's staying gone. She's coming home late and drunk. I caught her cheating.
Yeah.
2 days in a row with 2 different people in the car. You know, and the second time I asked her to leave.
While Paul may think that painting her in a bad light is a smart move, in reality, it only establishes that he had a strong motive for revenge. At this point, the detectives decide it's time to start constructing a timeline, hoping to pin Paul to a version of events they can systematically dismantle.
So, is there anything you can think of? Anything that would help us at all?
I can't think right now.
Let's just start with a basic timeline. So start with, let's say, what you do during a normal day. Yesterday was Saturday, right?
Right.
So when you woke up, were your other kids already awake?
No.
Were they all 3 still asleep? Or you said Jennifer?
Jennifer woke me up.
Okay, but the teenagers were in bed?
Mm-hmm.
That's what teenagers do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it. Nothing exciting. I mean, I was just in my chair all day.
Okay, so you didn't, I think I go to Walmart or go out to eat or anything like that? No trips outside?
Didn't go anywhere.
The detective asks this question because they have CCTV footage placing Paul at a gas station at 12:34 a.m. By outright denying that he left his home, it's clear that Paul is lying. However, when detectives ask the question minutes later, Paul realizes they might be setting up a trap and changes his story.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, you didn't leave your house pretty much at all yesterday? Not last night? Certainly not after dinner? What time do you think you went to bed?
Gosh, it was I actually did go out. I went and got a 6-pack of beer around midnight at Town Pump.
Going back to the timeline last night, you went to the Town Pump to get a 6-pack beer.
Mm-hmm.
And both of your oldest were still up.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, actually, my son went with me.
Oh, your son went with me. Okay. And you guys were gone from your house, that's what, gotta be 15, 20 minutes, maybe?
I was like, if you get the light, maybe it's 5 tops.
Oh.
The fact that Paul's son, Joseph, was with him on that trip is actually a crucial detail. Detectives now have another potential key witness who can prove or disprove Paul's movements that day. However, while this interview establishes that Paul has both a motive and a timeline that aligns with Lauren's murder, it's not enough evidence for detectives to make an arrest. For now, they have no choice but to let Paul go. While this is unfortunate and potentially dangerous, they were able to obtain one of Paul's belongings, his iPhone.
This is crazy, bro. This is crazy, bro.
Quickly, officers discovered that Paul was in fact at Lauren's house the day of the murder by locating a photo Paul took in front of her house just hours before her death. By combining Paul's claim that he was with his son that night with phone data placing him at Lauren's house, a crucial question can be made. Did Paul's son, Joseph, also go into Lauren's house the night she was murdered? If what Paul said during the interrogation is true, then Joseph should have been with Paul the entire night, which would include going to Lauren's house. This is a question that detectives needed to solve, and solve fast, as both the potential suspects are roaming free and could cause further damage if the case were to come to a standstill. So, a few hours later, Paul's son, Joseph, would be brought to the interrogation room. The plan for this interrogation was very straightforward. Simply get a timeline for where Joseph was the day of his stepmom's death and see if Joseph will admit to him, or at least his father, going to Lauren's house that night.
Let's chat.
Why is it cold in here, bro?
Well, just all kinds of chitter chatter out there. My name's Jeremy Kopp. I'm the detective sergeant for the sheriff's office. Okay. Obviously, you know what happened to Dad. Given that, then I need to be able to sit down and be able to talk to you. Right. Let's go to Saturday and just walk me through Saturday.
No, he said he's a teen, so
I got maybe like
maybe
12-ish, around 12. Is that kind of a typical on the weekends or no?
Usually get up around like 10 maybe.
Okay.
And then my dad's not feeling the best, so we usually would work on Saturday with Alden. Then my dad's not feeling the best, so we usually would work on Saturday with Alden. We were wobbling a trailer. But we were kind of sick. I didn't really feel like working here because I was kind of run down. So we just hung out all day. And we were up later than we should have been. And then we stayed up for a while. And then 12 came around. And then me and my dad went on a beer run. I went with him to the Town Pump.
Okay.
By Albertsons.
Okay.
And so he got a 6-pack of Voodoo Ranger.
Of what kind?
IPA, Voodoo Ranger.
Voodoo Ranger, okay.
Joseph's timeline is almost identical to that of both his father and sister, who was also interviewed. This is troubling because the detective knows the story is a lie. At some point during that time frame, Paul went to Lauren's house.
Guess what Paul did? That nigga's a manipulative type of motherfucker. That shit crazy, folks.
Means someone isn't telling the truth. The detective would notice this and pivot, starting to ask some more direct questions to Joseph.
Where'd you go?
I just go with him, with you guys.
Yeah. You hang with your dad quite a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, you were just pretty tight?
Yeah. So we just...
Fair enough to say.
Whatever we do, you know.
Okay.
And then we came back to the house. And then Natalie was up till around 1.
Okay.
Baby went to sleep around like 7:38.
So you don't recall hearing doors or anything open when you go to bed?
Right.
Nobody contacts you or anything? Okay.
Despite the detective's tries, Joseph doesn't seem to budge on his story. Additionally, the suspicion that he could have been implicated in Lauren's murder at this point is fairly long-winded, so the detective decides it's best to not confront Joseph any further until more factual evidence can prove he's lying. Luckily, until more factual evidence can prove he's lying.
What?
Luckily, that evidence wouldn't take long to present itself. Remember the bloody footprints found in the snow in Lauren's backyard? Well, a few days after the initial interviews, detectives began analyzing.
Please don't tell me that's the son's footprints.
The footprints to try and determine who they could be from. Immediately, detectives noticed there were 2 shoe prints in the snow, one noticeably larger than the other, meaning 2 people were implicated in Lauren's murder, one with bigger feet and one with smaller. When the prints were further analyzed, they were confirmed to be from 2 different shoe models, the Walmart Interceptor boots and the Merrill Reflex. And if we take a look at photos of Joseph taken from Paul's phone, we can see that Joseph would commonly wear the Walmart Interceptor boots. Additionally, if we look at the CCTV from the Town Pump gas station, we can see that Paul was wearing the Merrill Reflex. Paul had undoubtedly killed Lauren, and Joseph had come along with him. Detectives realized that Joseph was the key to all of this. He had been there with his father when Lauren was killed, and now they were certain of it. In his last interview, Joseph had stuck to the same timeline as his father, a timeline that investigators could now prove was a complete lie. With this leverage, detectives believed that with the right amount of pressure, they could break Joseph and force him to confess everything. Due to the intense nature of what detectives are about to do, they would bring in Joseph's biological mother, Paul's ex-wife, to provide comfort, hoping that her presence would further push him to finally
so those other 2
tell the
probably
truth.
is from her, and then the baby is from Lauren.
Just tell the truth.
You know Mondu's gonna come in there and tell you to tell the truth. You know that. Now you know that.
Okay, everyone is trying to come up with crazy ways to skip ads.
Come on now.
Chill, guys. Just download Pi. This Chrome extension.
Let's get it going.
So,
come on, man. You the right
Joe,
thing.
yesterday, you and I kind of talked about what everybody had done on Saturday. Well, I got up at noon, English. And Dad and Baby and Natalie were already up. And we were sitting in the living room. Daddy was in his chair. Natalie was on the couch. Baby was just whatever.
As the interview progressed, Joseph's timeline remained largely consistent with what he had stated the day before. The detective knew he wasn't getting the full truth, and that meant it was time to apply more pressure.
That's pretty accurate to what you told me yesterday. And I was hoping that today you and I could break through that and we could talk about what actually happened. Because if I can't get you to be honest with me, I can't help you. But I'm not willing to give up.
Fast, because if you keep withholding this information, now you accomplished the murder. They got both y'all shoe prints there, man. You're accomplice to your father's murder right now, man. That's exactly what you are. Ooh, excuse me. This is crazy, bro. Having
I
a
think that
son
we
there
can get
with
through
you
it.
in the-
I can see the weight
This
on
is
you.
heavy.
And the only way I can help is if you and I are honest with each other. Joe, I can't help. I can't do anything if you and I aren't honest with each other in here. Okay? Joe, please. Please. Joe. Okay.
It seems to be working. Slowly, Joseph's defenses are starting to crumble. At this point, all the detective can do is sit with him as the reality of the situation closes in.
Your dad took you.
No, he didn't.
He wasn't alone.
Then who was it? I don't know. After everyone, I just had no idea. I had my boots are in my own house.
Joe, we've got to be honest with each other.
Completely honest.
How did your boots that are at your residence, those same prints end up at the crime scene? Joe, be thoughtful, be truthful. I can't do anything if you and I can't be truthful. Was it just your dad?
Say something.
Joe.
Come on, son.
Joe.
Come on, man. Come on.
Joe.
I know you love your daddy, son.
Joe. Joe, just. Come on. Come on.
Son, if you know something, just say it.
Joe. When did he leave? Did he leave you? Did he make you go? Is that why? Did you go to... Was it after, before the beer? And then to the beer? Joe, help me understand. Help me understand that it was just
Bro, it's tough. He loves Pops, man. And I hope Pops ain't make that nigga do anything, bro.
Help me understand when he left. Help me understand why I can believe that you weren't there. Help me understand it. How far in the house did you go? Did you just wait outside?
No, I stayed in the house.
Joe, why would he frame his own son?
Nah, if he...
Why would he frame his own son?
That's
Joe.
a different fucking level. There's no way he framed his son. There's no way. You're telling me right now, yo, if he actually did that, bro, if Joe knows nothing and he did not, he had to have been there. There's no way he framed him. I didn't even think about that being a possibility. There's no way, bro.
Help me tell the story. Was it you or him? Tell me.
Was it?
It was him? How do you know? He was what?
He used to listen to me.
He did
that.
So he sent you to bed.
He doesn't love his son.
He said he loves your son.
I didn't know he was gonna do this to me.
There's no way.
My sisters. Didn't know.
There's no fucking way.
The pressure had broken Joseph. After
Are we-
relentless
are we
questioning,
ta-
he
are
had
we-
finally
are
come
we
clean
like-
about what transpired mere days earlier. Months later, when the detective recounted this moment with Joseph, he would burst into tears,
Are we
overcome
serious?
by the weight of the situation.
We just love you right now. Okay? So just sit with your son and love him.
If this motherfucker framed his son, you have to be on another type of unstable, like, you're...
My fault for letting you go. You couldn't be with me.
The detectives had what they wanted, and there was nothing left to do but finally wrap this case up. Paul's trial would be a long and drawn-out process, stretching over 2 years after his arrest. During this time, he remained in the Gallatin County Detention Center, where he quickly became a problem inmate. On February 7th, roughly 1 month after his arrest, tensions escalated when Paul called out another inmate, Buckley, accusing him of being a liar. Buckley responded with a warning, "Don't disrespect me like that." But before he could say more, Paul threw a punch, hitting Buckley in the face and sparking a full-blown fist fight. Paul would be charged with assault following the fight, only adding to the array of charges against him. Paul would eventually meet his fate on February 4th, 2020, nearly 2 years after his arrest. He'd be convicted of deliberate homicide, attempted deliberate homicide, and tampering with evidence, and would be sentenced to 220
without the
years in
possibility
prison
of
without the
motherfucking
possibility
parole.
of
That's what the hell I'm
parole.
talking about. I said parole.
Charged with attempt to commit deliberate homicide and
That's what the
vastly
fuck I'm
wrong
talking
human
about. Without the
guilty.
possibility of parole, my nigga. That's what the hell he needs, nigga. No possibility at all. Hey man, if y'all enjoyed this one, this is a one and only insane Dr. Insanity, man. Lonely husband kills wife and records everything. Excuse me for yawning, man. He even, and we ain't gonna talk about it, but thank God for, I think, what was her name? Ashley surviving. I believe that was her name. Ashley surviving the shooting, man. Shot in the back of the head. Full recovery, I think they said she made. But she still couldn't even remember the events of what happened to her. That is so sad, bro. It's kind of a good thing and a bad thing in a way, because now she's not really traumatized, you feel me? So it's like, but that shit is so sad, man. Hey, hope y'all enjoyed this reaction, man. It's your boy BGC, aka Bands Go Crazy. And I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man.